Hi, everyone. We want to welcome you all to Elijah's curation of me. We've got people here in the room and people online, and so to kick things off, we want to share a short video of Elijah. Or about Elijah. And people on Zoom, I didn't share it. Let me share my screen. Sounds kind of quiet. I'll make an adjustment. Right. Try to make a minor adjustment. Let's see if this helps. Volume can be quiet. Volume can be quiet. Okay, well, I think we can welcome our guest, and I'll keep fiddling.
Now, go down and shed a shell. And welcome back to one of Elijah's little talks, where you know it, you love it. We talk about all the stuff Lil. And actually, this is, in fact, the first Elijah's Little Talks live performance on Thursday afternoon. I'm your host, as usual, Elijah C. Rhodes. Sorry, folks, some of you wanted Alec Benton, classic co-host, to be here. He sadly had to work. So you must be thinking to yourself, Elijah, who could possibly be your co-host now? Who's going to laugh at all your zingers? That's a great question. I wanted to invite you, the audience, to be my co-host and to laugh at all my jokes. So feel free to make any comments, any boos you might want to make, echo me if you will, and enjoy this wonderful afternoon. So if you're a long-time listener, you will know that every Elijah's Little Talks will have a main question. That question today is, who is Elijah C. Rhodes? I'll be covering that basis with 3 questions. They're called my pillars. I created these pillars about 2 years ago in winter exploration, and it's the 3 pillars of who is Elijah Rhodes. The first one being the man upstairs, 2, the outdoors, and 3, connections with people. Before we start, I'd like to share a video from one of our sponsors, if you will. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Do you want to live forever? Are you sick of using sunscreen? Would you like to climb a mountain? Do you want to run faster? Are you struggling with cartwheels? Do you want your phone bill cut in half? Are you afraid of public restrooms? Well, I'm Lance Dudd, and I've got a product that changed my life and my cousin Jeff's life forever. Meat Duds! Meat Duds, 75 grams of protein per dud.
Per dud?
That's right, per dud. It's 75 grams per dud. Similar to the texture of a Skittle, but with the taste of a filet mignon, Meat Duds is exactly what you want. Within 2 minutes of swallowing your first Meat Dud, your veins in your arms are sure to be bulging. Your lung capacity is certainly to increase.
We just ran 246 miles on Meat Duds.
Order your Meat Duds today for 3 small payments of $99.95. And with that order, you'll get a free bottle of our brand new product, Liquid Meat Duds. Wow!
House Bruce. We actually have our celebrity in the midst. Ryan over there, whom was the Yes, that's perfect. And yeah, if you want to climb a mountain, if you want to climb Everest 3 times in a day, order Meat Duds because you will not regret it. But now you must be asking yourself, Elijah, why would you possibly show that ridiculous film? And that's because over quarantine, my youth group created these things, these videos, these challenges called the Quarantine Chronicles to stay connected. And well, those were my favorite videos, so I couldn't resist showing it. But let's get to the main point, my first pillar. The man upstairs. First of all, I have a lot of family in ministry. My great-great-grandfather was in ministry. My great-grandfather in ministry. You won't believe this, but my grandfather is actually in ministry. My dad's dabbled with it. My uncles have been in it, you know, a lot of family. I've grown up in the church. And it's just been kind of woven into the blankets, the veins of my life, if you will. You know, these past few years, I've learned to love God more and more, whether that was through family or conferences or going to youth group, going to church. And faith has been such a big part of my identity that, you know, kind of had to share it because that's what a Christian to me is. But yeah, I think one of the most impactful experiences I've had the past year was I was given the opportunity to read the whole Bible in a year, and that really gave me the chance to ask any questions and actually discipline myself to, you know, just read that kind of book because it's good. So I think that's been a pretty good experience and stuff I think I did. To be honest, I probably wouldn't have made it through or stayed sane while I was in high school without God because, good or bad, high school's pretty annoying sometimes, you know? You got these things going on, and all you just want to do is chill out, for me personally. And so, yeah, the big G upstairs has always been tapping my back. But yeah. I did this one theology STL in my first immersion this year, and I'm actually doing another one right now. My first one.
Elijah, we're having a hard time hearing you over Zoom.
Okay.
Can you speak up, please?
I'll yell. Yeah, so I did theology STL, my first immersion this year, and it was a really great experience to connect with other people from the community, ask specific questions related to any questions I had, and yeah, it was a good time. So yeah, on with the second pillar. But before that, I'm actually introducing a new segment where I invite in a live caller. Yes, you heard me correct, a live caller. So let's put him on the phone, shall we? Hope all of you on the computer can hear.
Hey, hello, man, Elijah. My name is Corey Barrow. I'm 22 years old, and I'm a ball boy from the Cleveland Browns. Anyway, I just want to say that I absolutely love your podcast. Elijah's Little Talks is like the best part of literally my afternoons, okay? I'm just like, now that you're doing a live show, I can't stress enough how much I love it. So I guess my
Sorry, folks, he cut out. I think what Corey wanted to ask was, how come you like the outdoors so much? What has been so impactful that the outdoors is your second pillar? Thank you, Corey. If you're watching, since you were the first live caller, I wanted to offer you a 10% off coupon on anything Elijah'sLittleTalks.com. Yes, you heard me, 10% off. Anything from paper towels, recorders, flamethrowers, torque grinds, Subarus, any single item you want, 10% off. And while 10% off is pretty generous, so I suggest loading up now while you have the coupon. But yeah, off to your main point, Corey. I grew up going backpacking. My dad introduced me to the great joys of the outdoors, and actually there is this one story I have to share about the outdoors. Maybe not the outdoors, but a good experience I've had after the outdoors. I was coming home from camping in the Sawtooths, and you know, we had to refresh our hunger, so we went to a stand, a restaurant. And I remember thinking, man, I really want a pie. And so the waitress overheard this, and she was like, you know what, if you sing for me, I'll give you a free pie. And as a little rascal Elijah was, he of course did it. And sang Life is a Highway, got a free pie. Don't really remember what flavor. How could you choose wrong though? It's a pie. But you must be thinking, why did you possibly share that story? Is because even if you're a little nervous to do something, you know, once you do it, you feel much better about it. I was a little nervous singing to a random waitress I've never met, and yeah, I got a pie. So just like a theater thing, you know, if you want to jump off a waterfall into a lake, it's a pretty good experience. I've never actually done it. I've been too scared. But even if you're nervous about something, you'll enjoy you did it in the end for the experience. Up to the actual main point again. Growing up, I couldn't really see myself doing any traditional sports long term, like baseball or football. I always wanted to play football because, you know, it's football. But I couldn't really see myself playing that sport long term. So I was like, man, I gotta think of another sport to do. And that's where hunting and fishing came along. If you want to click to the hunting pictures. Hunting and fishing have been a huge part of my life the past few years. And here's some pictures. The top left one is the logo of a show called Meat Eater. I just really like it and I want to put it in there. And then the middle picture is a picture of me and my bear. And a little story on that. I'm not going to go into all the details of the actual hunt, but more of what happened in the process of hunting the bear. We had to hike this really dumb hill. It was really short, and it took me freaking forever. It was like a 10-minute hike, and it took me like 20 minutes. We're getting the bear this year too, and I did the same hike. It actually took me 10 minutes, and that was because I've lost 35 pounds in the past year during COVID by counting calories. And I shared this with you because even if something's hard or you want to do something, but you don't really feel like doing it, because it's going to be hard, just do it, you know? You'll be glad you did in the long run. And I'm like, it's so much better. I actually don't hate hiking as much as I did. Second picture, my first elk, December 8th, 2020. Story of the elk, it was a pretty good experience. We had been trying to get an elk the whole past few days, and we finally find some right before sunset. It's from 530 freaking yards. And to my surprise, I actually got the elk. And once I got it, it was pitch black. We couldn't find it. So like, okay, let's just go find it in the morning. And so we hiked back to the vehicle to get to the campsite. So we refresh our spirits with some food and drink. But the vehicle was dead. And so I had to hike 5-ish miles up a hill, 10 degrees, while it's snowing, and at 10 o'clock at night. It was maybe the worst experience of my life. But after that, I found the elk. The morning after, I found the elk, and I was like, okay, that was a very bittersweet moment. Sweet, I got my first elk, bitter in the whole all-around experience of actually having to hike that. And yeah, it kind of relates to school in that way too, because even if it sucks in the moment, you know, there's always a little sweetness that you actually accomplished it, you know, just like graduation will be a little bit sweet. Sweet that I'm, you know, moving on, going to NMU, but bitter, you know, leaving the school. But yeah, I've also gotten into off-roading recently, which has allowed me to experience the great outdoors lazily, don't have to hike or anything. So that's been a pretty sweet thing too. And finally, for the outdoors, I want to talk about my summer experience. What I learned from my first summer experience was that I worked on a ranch, and it was a great experience. I like the whole lifestyle. I like the animals, being outside all day, but I really don't like work. I like being lazy. So I think what I learned from that experience is even if you love something, just do it every once in a while, you know? You don't have to dedicate your whole life to it. And yeah, you know, live and let learn. I don't think that expression makes any sense or relates to what I was talking about at all, but that's what I thought of. And now I had another sponsor. They quickly pulled out last minute, so I'll just be moving on to the next segment by myself. My next pillar, connections with people. Over the years, I've learned to enjoy and appreciate people more and more. I like to just connect with others, share stories with them, like hunting, etc., etc. One connection I have made to connections with people was my second Disruption Day presentation. Most of you probably remember this. I laughed on stage in front of a few hundred people. At the time, it was pretty awkward, but I've learned to just deal with it. And looking back now is one of my best moments at Winston, actually, being able to make everybody laugh because I was laughing. But I've learned that I really know people, making people laugh, and it was a good time. And actually going on top of that, we've been talking about like what legacy we want to leave our whole year at Winston, and I think that's the legacy I left, which is not bad, you know? Sometimes you just gotta laugh through it. For the connections with people, part B, it's another new segment called Thanks People from Elijah Rhodes. My first group I want to thank are my parents, you know, always being there, helping me out, hanging out with me, watching The Walking Dead, Breaking Bad, you know, any show. My dad, going hunting with me. It's always been a good time. Jake and Ryan, for always having a welcoming time at youth group and giving me a place to just enjoy myself, Probably one of the better parts of my weeks in my first few years when I was able to attend youth group. And then some friends, Alec, Avery, Idris, etc., just great people to hang out with in general, Sisters, just been cool, hanging out, good times, good people to hang out with. Will, always being able to talk to him about anything, just hanging out, just hanging out, talking, doing whatever. And then Michael F. was also a pretty impactful person over my first 2 years. Michael was unable to attend because he had a city thing, and then he was gonna get home right as my thing came along, and so he was sadly unable to attend, but I miss hanging out and talking about Seinfeld references. That was a great part of the first 2 years. So how have I grown in general, and how has my Winston experience been? I'm not gonna call the public school system or my old school trash, but it was pretty brutal. Not gonna lie, I found no enjoyment in anything I was doing. All but a few teachers I actually enjoyed. And I only had like 3 friends. And so I was like, okay. I gotta find a different thing for high school. So I'm like, I'm looking around. Hey, Winston looks interesting. So I joined this solution lab called Octopi to get plugged in. And I started baking pies every week, hanging out. And la-di-da, I applied at Winston, got accepted, and now here I am. So that's been a big blessing, all in all. And man, my handwriting is really bad. But yeah, what I've learned at Winston is the blog has helped me in a particular way, like creating these little marks of like how I can grow, and I think that'll be a good tool as I move on to NNU and my future, knowing like, you don't have to work on everything all at once, but just find a few things to work on as you go about your day. As I have gone through Winston over the years, I've found more and confirmed my passions and have been able to just be more bold about them. And because of that, I was able to break the walls or barriers I had so normally built at North Junior High. And yeah, I think Winston has given me a great place to explore my passions, especially my Y-Lab or senior project this past year on hunting. I've been able to talk to some great hunters and have been able to experience and talk about hunting to people who've been hunting for a really long time, to people who may not even agree about hunting. But it's been a pretty good experience all in all, a lot of growth and a good way for me to experience my passion. Yeah, so moving on, I'm excited for NNU, and I think I'll be studying ministry in there, and NNU better get ready because Ryan's on there. We're gonna be a whirl for them, quite a few pranks, quite a few laughs there. And yeah, so that's our main question for today. If you're a long-time listener, you'll know we occasionally have other side questions, short questions. And so yeah, I'm adding a third new segment. Yes, I am. It's the ability. You co-hosts have the ability to ask me any question. And thank you for sitting through this first half of my talk show. I hope you enjoyed it, and let's get on with the show for a little open Q&A, or just comments in general. Thank you. I'm really surprised I didn't laugh because I thought I was. Mom,
Okay, so for the second segment, we, as we do with mini curations of me, just want to share out memories or any thoughts or any shout outs that you have for Elijah. I think I will go ahead and start. Hey, can you all hear us? Okay. Okay, we'll try to swing the mic around for folks. So you can hear.
Well, I can hear you really well, but I think anybody who's away from your camera or from your computer, it's hard to hear. So maybe moving the computer closer to people too will be helpful.
Thank you. We'll try that. I guess speaking to Elijah, you know, I felt connected to you like since we've known each other, like when you first came to One Stone, and it's been a pleasure to see you grow. Do we want to, if we turn the mute off of that one, will that crosstalk? It's been a pleasure to see you grow. I've loved our connections. I think your genuineness has been a thing that has made you beloved in our community, and your sense of humor. I think I wrote about it once. Your perspective on laughing and making several hundred people laugh during a really important event. When we chatted about it, I think you said something like, I felt like everyone was taking this thing super seriously, and it was about celebrating students. And so, like, what better way to lighten the mood or something like that. And it was more that your perspective on life and you know, your own challenges with, you know, potentially not being alive, I think have given you a golden outlook on life. And I appreciated being able to bump up against that and grow myself as a person. So I've loved having you, and happy for you, but sad to have you leave.
yeah, thanks, Will. I think we have a few questions in here. Let me see. Yes. To answer my Uncle James's question.
I'm on mute.
One Stone community. You're just such a great example of what it means to be this well-rounded, kind person who wants to go out and change the world in big ways and in small. And yeah, I just am so excited to see where you go next. It's really important to us that we get to be part of the next steps for you. So, you know, making sure that you're letting us know when things are going well and when things aren't going well too, that you're keeping in touch, and so that we can celebrate with you and that we can support you when you need it. And Teresa, who can't be here, likes to say that we have office hours for life. So we are always here for you. In 30 years, if you need something, we're here. Our doors are always open. This is always your place. And we love you and we're proud of you. And we can't wait to keep cheering you on.
Oh, I'll for sure keep you all updated. Thank you.
I'll hop in next. Elijah, these Curation of Me's always made me reflect on my experience with students from like the very first your interview, and your interview was a very memorable interview for me with your whole family, and then working with you really closely this year in YLab, and just being I've heard all the great things about you, but it was just so fun to work with somebody that was so motivated, and like you rocked it. And I was always just so proud of the way that you really owned YLab, and you were a super great example of a student-driven, student-led whole process. And I just, when we chatted, I was always like, just how can I support you? Like, how can I support you? How can I help you? And you were like, I got it. This set up, I got this set up. This is the thing. I'm like, all right, I'll stay out of your way. And it was really, really cool to work through that way. And I'm just so proud of you, so proud of your growth and like who you've it's not even like who you've turned out to be, it's like how you've grown from like we always knew all these things were capable in you, and I just love that you found people that you could connect with and really do all the things that you wanted to do while you're at one. So I'm just really, really proud of you.
Thank you, Ashley. It's been great working with you this year too on Wild and everything. It's been awesome.
Elijah, you are, I don't know, you're a bit of an enigma to me. You're just such a friendly person, and it just seems like you know everybody, which I don't know, it's just like we would pass by people that I haven't even met yet, and I pride myself with at least knowing everybody's names, and you just be like, oh, hey, how's it going, so and so, and I'm like, I haven't even met them, and it's just like you're friends with everybody, you're hilarious, and you're just so incredibly genuine, and I'm so happy that I've gotten this chance to meet you, and I'm honored to be able to call you a friend.
Thanks, Josh. Yeah, you've been a great friend throughout this year. Appreciate you. Ready for your creation of me.
All right.
I agree with everything that's been said so far. It's been great knowing you. And one thing in specific I just like to commend you on is that you actually remind people to relax. And that's something I've needed very much this year. And I've loved getting to know you.
Thanks, GW. Yeah, you've been a great pal these past few years.
I'm going to try to go next. All right. Hello there, Elijah. It's been a while. So first I want to start off with, I immediately noticed the Dwight attire, and I was like, yeah, there it is. Perfect. And, my first thought was, man, this guy's always coming in guns blazing with his jokes. I was thinking about it. I'm like, what's a good analogy for Elijah? I'm like, I think a dragon, because the amount of jokes Elijah is spewing is like a dragon spewing liquid fire onto unsuspecting people. The jokes just keep on coming. And I was on the phone with one of the sponsors of Elijah's Little Talks a second ago. Actually, wait, that's them now. Wait. Elijah, I've got a sponsor for Elijah's Little Talks to help it get off the ground.
Thanks, Nick. That was really good. Yeah, thanks for coming. Good times, Nick. Good times.
Turn down your.
There we go.
Well, I'll first say thanks for using me in your promotional video. I had no idea until I showed up that was going to happen. So that's a great start. But it's just been awesome to just see you grow as a man, and I've always admired just the strength and courage that you've carried, and just how no matter what the circumstances have been, you've always just had this lightheartedness and this joy, and it's reflected in your faith in a lot of ways. And even as your leader, it's just, I watched you and I thought, man, Elijah just has such a strong faith, and he never complains or he never has a bad perspective on things. And I just want to say, like, that's been so powerful to see, and I think that's going to carry you to a lot of cool places and in ministry, and even just your connections with friends. Like you show so much love to your friends and people around you, and that gives you a lot of influence. So I've enjoyed seeing your journey, and I'm excited to see where you're going to go and be a part of it and do some hunting and fishing adventures with you. So I love you, man.
Yeah, we do. Thanks, Ryan. I'm also excited to hunt next year.
Oh yeah.
Duck hunt.
Oh yeah.
I suppose I'll go. Dude,
I just gotta say, like, you've been one of the people that has made these last 2 years of my life so memorable. Since the day I got here, it was like you just welcomed me with the most open arms. And you always made me feel like I was so included and appreciated. And I never felt left out or forgotten whenever you were around, because you just have this energy, so kind and joyful and like youthful, I would say. And it's been like such a relief to be around. It's been like a pick-me-up, honestly, especially throughout this year, because it's just been like such a hard year for everybody. And so like your positive nature and your, you know, like you just have this energy that everything's gonna be okay. And I can't tell you how much that's helped me. And having you as a friend has just been so much. And I know that you've always been here for me, and I can't appreciate you more. And I'm excited to see what lies ahead for you. And you know, I just gotta say thank you, one, for the shout out on Elijah's little pops. One, and thank you for being my friend.
Oh yeah, for sure. You've been a great friend for me too, and I'm excited to try some of the Chicago deep dish next year.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
It's gonna be amazing.
I wanted to just say that sitting here listening to everybody talk and to you share, like, I just think that, you know, like my heart is so excited and for you, because like you did it, right? And you are exactly who we know you to be, and also exactly everything we've ever wanted you to be. And you're never anything other than kind and a light to people, and you know, like a bringer of good news and joy to people. Like that's all you need, right? And so like when I hear people say like that you like just know how to take things in stride and you know how to, I like over and over again, I kept hearing people say things, and even like throughout your presentation, and I hear that you know how, you know, perspective, right? And I think that's been with you from the time that you were little. And because you've done hard things, and you've done hard things over and over and over and over again. And so you left some of those hard things out of your story, like when you were telling, you know, your hype or whatever. But I just like, yeah, you're gonna be so missed in our home, you know? But I'm so excited to see what you do. And we love you so much.
Thanks, Mom.
We're really proud of you.
Thanks. I mean, I'm gonna be like, what, 40 minutes away? Seeing each other every week at church. You know?
It's true.
It'll be good.
You know, I might as well share what Camber's facing me. Yeah, what she said. That's it. No. Yeah, man. Just so proud. Yeah, hearing the sentiments from everybody just is probably the best gift a dad could get. You know, just how their son is regarded by others, and how you honor others and make them feel like that they are noticed and have value. Well done, man. So proud of you. Yeah, man. I won't belabor the points, but well done on your presentation too.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to the next World Talk.
Oh yeah. Season 2 coming out next year.
Anybody else like to share?
Yeah, loose.
Well, thank you. I guess, I'll just say, Elijah's been a pretty great big brother, whether it's playing Super Smash Bros. And letting me annihilate him, or, well, not letting me, you mean annihilating him, or if we're pranking his friends that it's him playing Fortnite and letting me then again annihilate his friends. But it's pretty fun, and he won't get a free moment alone in college because I love NMU, so I'll then be annihilating his friends at pool or foosball. But it's been pretty fun, so good job, Elijah.
And annihilation is a strong term. We'll see you later. But
Elijah, I just want to say real quick, I admire the risks that you take. Humor is not an easy path. And I know it comes naturally to you because you're funny, but like doing a presentation like this is like, it takes guts. It takes guts. And I really admire the approach. And I also want to point out that we haven't worked together a bunch, but just seeing you around, I know the impact that you've had on students. I know that you've had a big impact on students in their ability to be their authentic selves, especially in terms of faith. And I want to thank you for bringing that to One Stone and being a part of that. Thanks for being here. Thanks for making all of our lives better. And we'll miss you.
thanks, Michael.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with me. I love hanging out on Thursday. It's my favorite day of the week. I love going to lunch with you. I don't know, I've really enjoyed getting to know you, especially this year, even though I've known who you are for a while. I'm really excited to see what you continue to do in the future, and we're all very proud of you.
Thanks, Alex.
All right, well, we'd like to thank everybody for coming out to celebrate Elijah, and just say great work, and thanks for coming.
Thanks.